It's so red. Red woman's syndrome. So itchy and so red. On our adventure.
Oh, you got freezing cold here.
Good Friday morning, everyone. I am just getting my feeding tube stuff ready, and I was going to go hook up to my infusion, and then I found something. Good morning, Harlow. Anyways, this is where I put my infusion bags to reach room temperature, and Judd knows that. And when I walked in this morning, I found this here. It's from the Georgia Aquarium, and if y'all remember, yesterday, Judd went on a very quick trip to see family in Georgia. So I know that they went to the Georgia Aquarium, and then I'm pretty sure he got me something. Oh my goodness. I love these socks. They're sharks. That's so cool. And they're so cute. If y'all don't know, I actually collect funny socks like this. They have to be like these long socks. What the heck? Harlow! So that makes me really happy. Well, I'm hooked up to my infusion, getting nutrition, and it was really sweet of Judd to bring me those socks. We're also really big aquarium enthusiasts. We have this idea that one day we'll like travel to all the cool aquariums. We've been to the Georgia Aquarium. I've been to the aquarium in Dallas, which was phenomenal. We've been to the Florida Aquarium here. Is that it? Anyway, we like aquariums. Harlow, are you hungry? Good girl. Picking up her slow feeder is actually really good practice for picking up tricky items. Good dog. Look at that, Harlow. Have you been waiting? All right. No. Yeah. Okay, it's a very deep bark, Harlow. Sometime today I gotta finish the prep from yesterday for her raw meals, and I'd also like to do some veggie pops and yogurt pops, so that is on the to-do list. Okay, I got the much anticipated call from nursing, and they're actually coming this afternoon. That's awesome. So I need to finish Harlow's prep now while I have time to do so. Prep is done, her veggie pops are done. I actually don't have yogurt, so I won't make her yogurt pops today, but this is weird. I found just a random piece of bread in a bag on top of the fridge. It's not moldy, so it hasn't been there long, but I wonder where this came from. Anyways, while I was prepping, I got a phone call from the nurse who's gonna come to see me, and she said, I just want to make sure I'm reading your notes right, but do you really access and deaccess your own port? It's like, yeah. She goes, wow, none of my other patients do that. So it's like, yep, all taken care of. The reason I like to do my own port care and as much of my own care as possible is just because I feel like I have more control and flexibility with my treatments. And I'm very meticulous about sterile protocol. So if I do it myself, I know it's been done right each time. Not that other medical professionals wouldn't know how to follow sterile protocol. It's just that this is what I'm most comfortable with. Other people prefer nurses or doctors to change their port needles, and that's fine. It's just whatever makes us most comfortable. And it is time to give Harlow her bone for the day. That's her bone spot. She likes to go there to eat her bones. And if I don't hover over her or anything, she'll eat it very slowly and carefully, which is perfect. Okay, so just before he went off to work, Judd, hi Harlow. Jed brought up my weekly infusion delivery. I think next week they'll deliver the antibiotics with my regular port care and infusion stuff, but this was already set to be delivered today, so I gotta unpack that into the fridge. And I'm gonna set out the IV antibiotics so they can reach room temperature because the nurse will be here in about 2 hours. So 1 Rocephin and 1 vancomycin. And I just finished my banana bag. I'm supposed to hook up to my saline next. This is what I do on my regular infusion days. But since the nurse is going to be here in a few hours, which would interrupt this because this takes 4 hours, I am just going to flush with saline and wait to run this until we're done with the antibiotics. So those are reaching room temperature. All of this is unpacked and the fridge is restocked. Now I'm going to rest until the nurse gets here. Well, the lovely nurse is here.
Hi.
Danielle, right?
Danielle, yes.
All right, and we're gonna start the antibiotics. So we're gonna do the Rocephin first, and I'm gonna be doing it because
Perfect.
I'm learning how to do this, and she's gonna make sure I don't have any reactions. Or if I do, she'll. It's SASH protocol, right?
Yeah.
Saline, antibiotic, saline, heparin.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need to use heparin because I'm gonna do it again, but. Okay, this is an interesting little.
Just twist it right on off.
Okay.
Right on off. That doesn't sound right.
Do I need to, is this sterile or do I need to alcohol swab it?
Absolutely sterile.
Okay. I feel like...
There you go. I know. It feels
Okay,
weird
I'm
at
like,
first,
what
right?
am I doing?
Yeah.
So this is the Rocephin for the bacteria that isn't MRSA, and we just push it slow.
Just a slow push, yeah. And then when you can stop and then kind of, connect it or clamp it for a minute and then do it again.
Okay.
So give it a few minutes.
Because on it says 5 to 10 minutes, which is super long. All right, we are almost done with this one.
Yep.
Perfect. And saline again. I'm gonna push this slow because there's still medicine in the tubing. And the reason you do saline is because you don't want to do Rocephin and then vancomycin right away because it could interact. Saline kind of acts as a buffer.
Yeah, and pushes the rest of it through actually as well.
Yeah, because there's still some in the tubing.
In the tubing,
So far, so good. What are the side effects that people usually see with Vanco or Rocephin?
The most common of any of them is usually, of course, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea is usually probably the most common complaint that I get from these medications.
I take probiotics, so hopefully that'll help
with that. And then other things could be, of course, dizziness, headaches.
Yeah.
But nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea are the ones I hear the most about.
Okay, so I can prime this?
Sure. Now, do you prime in your pump or do you just hand prime?
I hand prime. It's so much faster.
That's what I heard, and I don't normally do that, so I'm going to watch you do that, actually. I'm going to learn something from it.
I much prefer it, especially when you're in a hurry. So I literally just squeeze, and then it'll get all of the stuff through the tubing.
You're kidding?
Yeah.
So you're squeezing just the bag and that's it?
Yeah, and I just watch to make sure I'm not going to overflow it. But you see how fast it goes?
That is a total difference.
Yeah.
Did you set your parameters already?
Yeah. I changed it from an hour to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is supposed to run over an hour, but I was a little concerned about it going too fast and me having a reaction or something like that. So she called the pharmacy and they said it's okay to make it, it's very obnoxious, to go to an hour and a half. So slower, less likely to react. Usually I use my backpack, but it's just, yeah, I think I will. I wonder if I can clip this while I'm clipping my feeding tube.
I don't know why you couldn't.
Oh, I totally can. That's awesome. And we are running. Okay, we got the EpiPen nearby.
Yeah, got it right there.
Just in case. So as y'all can see where my feeding tube bag is clipped, I also clipped the Vanco because the air is not siphoned out of this like it is with my usual fluids. So it needs to be kept upright. And it's a good solution. Awesome. So far, so good. 114/81, pulse 92. 1 gram of Rocephin done, getting my nutrition, and getting the 1 gram of Vanco.
Push some of this out, throw a needle in there, and then do about, what do you think? I should probably draw it up and...
I'm gonna take like, can you pass me the Benadryl? It's the gray one.
Yeah.
I already know. I'm just gonna draw out like the smallest amount because when I was in the, hey y'all, I'm super,
hi.
I'm super itchy. Not a reaction. This is what happened to me last time I was on Vanco. So we're just gonna take like the smallest amount of Benadryl and pause the Vanco, push the Benadryl, start again. It should be fine. But it's like, I feel like my head.
Yeah, just do a little bit and see what happens.
But I'm breathing fine, like no, like my usual rashes. But I feel it going down. That's why I wanted to, at first I was like, oh, this is fine, but I feel it like itching more. So I think it'd be good just to do the Benadryl to be safe. Also, I'm not concerned because she's like this.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
Would she be more crawling on your lap and just...
She would be concerned. Like, she doesn't alert, but if a reaction's happening, she gets very clingy and like, so I don't, oh my gosh, is she in my bag now? This is...
Yeah, let's get this party started.
I did not use the whole dose of Benadryl because I don't want to feel all that groggy. But if need be, I can give myself more. And now that I know this is going to happen, I'm probably going to pre-medicate with half a dose of Benadryl before my next vancomycin. All right, and running the Vanco again. I'm super itchy.
You're a little red.
Am I?
A little bit.
I'm just itchy from the Vanco. I'm pushing more Benadryl. Some of y'all mentioned something called red man syndrome. I guess that happens with Vanco, but I'm not bright red. I'm just itchy, which is a very typical reaction. Just keep pushing Benadryl. I'm not as red anymore, but gosh, the Benadryl is helping with the itching, but it still itches. And my legs started, I don't know if you can tell, it's barely, they're starting to tremor a little bit. So we gave it a while, took a break, like 10 minutes, and I'm hooked back up to the Vanco just to see how things go with all the Benadryl now. All of the Benadryl and flushing and stuff, and we're getting close to being done. So good news is I finished the vancomycin. Bad news is I am red, like even on my legs, bright red.
Yep.
It's that red man syndrome.
Yeah, it's very red and very rashy as well. There's small bumps.
It's like all over. I went to use the bathroom and I was like, whoa. I'm not taking off my pants for y'all. Oh man. I'm breathing though. I'm breathing. It itches. I'm trying so hard not to itch. And Harlow seems a bit concerned. I can breathe fine. I don't feel like my throat's swelling shut. I do feel a little spacey though, and just probably groggy from the Benadryl. We pushed 50 milligrams of IV Benadryl. That's the max dose, but like, it's so red. I don't know if you can see as clearly with the camera, but so red. Red woman's syndrome, so itchy and so red. So I'm doing much better now. The rashes are nearly completely gone. There's still some itchiness and redness, but it's going away. Danielle stayed until we were comfortable and knew I was all right. I love her, she's awesome. And now my mom is here. She's gonna stay tonight because Joe's working, you know, just in case. It took like 2 hours for that to resolve. It's just really high heart rate, headache, nausea, really red and unbearably itchy. And we called the on-call pharmacist for my infusion company, and then he got in contact with one of my doctors, not the prescribing doctor. He couldn't get in contact with him, but another one of my doctors who's really on top of my care. And that doctor said, no more vancomycin, and if it didn't resolve itself within the next hour, I would have to go to the ER, but thankfully all is well. I mean, not well, I don't feel well, but I'm not having red man syndrome anymore, which is just where it's exactly what happened to me. You get really red and itchy from the vancomycin. It's a common reaction, but I can't take it anymore. Even with pushing Benadryl, I was still unbearably itchy. So it's the weekend. I think we're gonna have to wait till Monday to find a new plan of action for the MRSA. I'm not really sure. I just don't have enough energy to think about what to do next right now. So I'm just gonna go to sleep. So good night, and thanks for joining us on our adventure.